The Descendants of Elliott Brown Sr. and Jessie Ann Martin Brown, a journey from South Carolina and Virginia to Winston-Salem, where a family took root. This is the story of Elliott, a son of South Carolina, who came to Winston-Salem and met Jessie Ann, whose roots reached through Stokes County, North Carolina, and into Virginia. They married on December 27, 1917, and from their union grew a family grounded in faith, strengthened by work, and bound together by love. Their journey became our inheritance, and their legacy still lives through us. From our roots, we grow strong. Christmas Eve 1917 was a special day for the Brown and Martin families. 20-year-old Elliott Brown married 16-year-old Jessie Ann Martin in Forsyth County, North Carolina. Their marriage record offers valuable insight into both families. Elliott identified his parents as Sam and Charlotte Brown. Sam was deceased, while Charlotte was living. Jessie Ann was the daughter of Douglas and Belle Martin. Douglas was living, while Belle was deceased. Reverend W.D. Martin officiated the wedding. Now let us explore four ancestors whose journeys brought two family lines together. Douglas and Belle Martin came from Virginia, while Sam and Charlotte Brown came from South Carolina. Their paths ultimately converged in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Through their children and grandchildren, these two Southern families became one, creating a shared legacy that continues through our family today. By 1900, Douglas and Belle Martin were living on Fogle Street in Winston and working in the city's thriving tobacco industry. Douglas was a tobacco caser, while Belle worked as a stemmer. Their 11-year-old son James also worked as a stemmer at only 11 years old. Although the labor was demanding, factory employment was often considered preferable to working in tobacco or cotton fields. By 1900, the Martin family had made their home on Fogle Street in Winston-Salem's Tobacco Historic District. The neighborhood stood among the city's great tobacco factories and supported a thriving African-American residential and business community. Little remains of Fogle Street today, but its cobblestones survive as part of the Long Branch Trail. Douglas Martin would be dead at the age of 51 in May 1919, following a violent confrontation at his family's home. According to the newspaper account, an argument began when Buster Webster intervened in a dispute and struck Martin's daughter Kate in the face. Her young brothers summoned their father, who came to stop the disturbance, and ordered Webster to leave. Witnesses said Webster instead retrieved a shotgun and fired, striking Martin in the breast. The defense claimed Martin had advanced with a stool, but testimony conflicted about whether a stool was ever involved. Webster reportedly admitted shooting Martin to keep him out of his room. He was charged with murder and held without bond for the July term of Superior Court. Douglas Martin, a Patrick County native and son of Essex and Betsy Martin, was laid to rest at Brushy Fork Cemetery near his wife, Belle, and an infant daughter by Annie Watt. In July 1919, Buster Webster was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 10 years of hard labor. Douglas had owned property on Dean Street and left an estate valued at $1,300, but within a few years, the property and the wealth he had built were lost. In 1870, young Douglas Martin lived in Patrick County, Virginia, with his parents, Essex and Elizabeth Betsy Martin. By 1880, the family had moved east into neighboring Henry County. Later records identify Betsy's maiden name as Scales. These Virginia counties border Stokes and Rockingham counties, placing the Martins just north of the Winston-Salem region. In the 1880 census, Belle appears as 11-year-old Rosa Belle Chandler, living in Stokes County with her parents, Ned Chandler and Mary Ziegler. 5 years later, on October 25, 1885, she married Douglas Martin. Their marriage lasted more than 30 years. Belle died on February 4, 1917, and was laid to rest at Brushy Fork Cemetery 2 years before Douglas joined her there. In 1877, the Danbury Reporter named Ned Chandler as a committee member for the colored Snow Creek School, which served 53 children. By 1880, Chandler remained in service as enrollment grew to 80. His leadership reflects the determination of Black families to build schools, expand opportunity, and secure a stronger future for their children. Like many Black families of his generation, Elliott Brown left the cotton-driven economy of rural South Carolina for the growing city of Winston-Salem. In 1918, he worked for R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. By 1935, the city directory listed him in the wood business. In 1944, Brown reported that he sold wood, coal, and ice for himself, revealing his journey from industrial laborer to independent entrepreneur and member of Winston-Salem's thriving Black business community. The December 12, 1950 Winston-Salem Journal reported the tragic death of Elliott Brown, only 6 years after his 1944 registration card documented his ice, coal, and wood business. While sawing wood at 14th Street and Highland Avenue, a piece of an electric saw blade broke loose and struck him. Brown died shortly after reaching Kate Bidding Reynolds Memorial Hospital. The coroner ruled the death accidental. The article remembered him as a Spartanburg native, a firewood dealer, a member of Mount Zion Baptist Church, and the husband and father of a large family. His death brought a sudden end to a life defined by migration, hard work, entrepreneurship, faith, and family. One can only imagine what Christmas was like for the Brown family in December 1950. Elliott's funeral was held Friday, December 15th, at Mount Zion Baptist Church. 7 days later, the newspaper reported that his sons would continue the family's sawmill business. 3 years later, Jessie died from heart complications, and her funeral was held at Mars Hill Baptist Church. Elliott and Jessie were laid to rest together in Evergreen Cemetery. By 1920, 3 generations of the Brown family shared a home at 1409 East 12th Street in Winston-Salem. The census records Elliott and Ginny, Elliott's widowed mother, Charlotte, and their children. Elliott, Ginny, and Charlotte worked in the tobacco industry. With roots in South Carolina and Virginia, the family's children represented its first generation born in Winston-Salem, a new home and legacy. In 1900, the Brown family was living in the Gowdiesville area of Cherokee County, South Carolina. The census reveals more than names and ages. It shows a closely connected family community. Sam and Charlotte Brown lived with their young son, Johnson, next door to Sam's parents, Tom and Sophia Brown. This arrangement reflects the strength of family ties across generations. Parents, children, and grandchildren remained near one another, sharing the responsibilities and experiences of daily life. These neighboring households formed an important chapter in the Brown family's story before Sam and Charlotte's descendants established new roots in Winston-Salem. On January 14, 1915, tragedy struck on T.M. Littlejohn's place in Cherokee County, about 12 miles from Gaffney. Sam Brown was accidentally shot as Henry Smith returned from hunting squirrels. When Sam asked for a squirrel and grasped the gun by its barrel, the hammer caught on Smith's clothing, causing it to discharge. The load struck Sam just above his right eye, killing him instantly. A coroner's jury ruled the shooting accidental. Sam was laid to rest at Mount Tabor Baptist Church near Gowdiesville, leaving his family to mourn a sudden and heartbreaking loss. Sam Brown's 1915 death certificate records that he was a farmer whose roots ran deep in Cherokee County, South Carolina. His father, Tom Brown, served as the informant and identified Sam's parents as Tom and Sophia Graham Brown, both natives of Cherokee County. After Sophia's death, Tom Brown began a new chapter. By 1910, he had married the widowed Alice Rogers, whose children joined their Gowdiesville household. Tom died on December 23, 1930, and his death certificate identified his parents as Sam and Pascal Brown. Like many Browns and Rogers, he was buried at Mount Tabor Baptist Church. In 1880, Tom and Sophia Brown lived in Gowdiesville with their children, Sam and Rachel, and niece Adeline. The community was then in Union County. Cherokee County was formed in 1897. The Browns lived near landowner T.M. Littlejohn, beginning a connection that endured for decades and later shaped the tragic story of Sam Brown. Rachel Brown married Levi Isaac Garrett, joining 2 families already closely connected in Gowdiesville. In 1900, Levi and Rachel lived with their children and Rachel's grandfather, Daniel Graham, beside the Jeffries household, Tom and Sophia Brown, and Sam and Charlotte Brown. Rachel died February 20, 1928, and was buried at Mount Tabor Baptist Church. Reverend A.W. Garrett was the father of brothers Levi, husband F. Rachel Brown, and Thomas Garrett. Levi died in 1952, and his obituary named his daughter Maddie G. Foster of Winston-Salem. In 1950, Maddie lived on Woodland Avenue with her uncle Thomas's widow, Nancy Nettie Garrett. Thomas, a blacksmith, died in Shelby in 1937. Nettie died in 1965 and was buried in Evergreen Cemetery, preserving another link between the Garretts and Winston-Salem. Why move to Winston-Salem? By 1920, Winston-Salem was North Carolina's largest city and one of the Southeast's great industrial powerhouses. Tobacco and textile factories drew thousands of black workers, whose labor and enterprise helped build a thriving middle class, strong neighborhoods, and independent institutions. Safe Bus Company grew into the world's largest black-owned transportation system, while Kate Bidding Reynolds Memorial Hospital, home to a respected nursing school, became the nation's 3rd largest hospital serving African Americans. Elliott Brown Sr. and Jessie Ann Martin Brown united 2 family lines and built a home in Winston-Salem. Through their children, the Brown family established deep roots that continue across generations. Here are the children of Elliott and Jessie Brown, were Geneva Brown Rice, Lulabelle Brown Martin, Roscoe Brown, Swindell Martin Brown Sr., Robert Lee Brown, Samuel Brown, Charlotte Brown Hoback, Elliott Brown Jr., Delois Brown, Elizabeth Brown Johnson, Paul Brown, Alfonso Brown, and Dorothy Ann Brown Heron. As we close, let us remember that Elliott and Jessie did more than establish a family in Winston-Salem. They planted a legacy. We are the living evidence of their faith, sacrifice, labor, and love. Our charge is not simply to remember their names, but to preserve their stories, strengthen the bonds they created, and leave something worthy for those who will follow us. We are not the end of their story. We are the bridge to its next chapter. From our roots, we grow strong, and through us, the family tree continues to grow. This was produced by Spencer McCall and dedicated to Deacon and Mrs. Elliott and Charlie Mae Brown.